German Emperor himself, Max Biaggi. So we are here at the launch. We're supposed to meet him at 8 p.m. It's about 7:57 right now, 3 more minutes. Well, I doubt he's going to show up in 3 more minutes, but anyway, we are here. We're going to ask him, we probably have about 5-10 minutes with him. We're going to ask him some pretty exclusive questions. Only available on bikesrepublic.com. We're the only media here, so that's pretty cool. Obviously not your first time in Malaysia, so you come here maybe once, twice a year, or more often than that?
Yeah, normally once a year.
Normally once a year.
Yeah, but in the past it was like 2 or 3 times a year because we did a winter test.
Yeah. What do you think about the country?
Yeah, it's cool. You know, it's one of my favorites since when we was racing Shell Malaysia.
Yeah, about the tiger.
Yeah, a long time ago. It was really one of my favorite places. And even Sepang, which is much more bigger track than before.
Yeah, of course.
It's a nice place to be.
Yeah, and since then and now, how has Malaysia changed in your opinion?
Yeah, big difference. Regarding to the motorsport, it's a really step up.
Yeah.
I remember 24 years ago, it was no more than 10,000, 20,000 people was watching.
Yeah.
But now it's the weekend last year was over 100,000. So
crazy,
it's they invest quite a bit in the motorsport, and now the result you can see. You know, they make great job.
Do you come here for holiday or is it just for racing?
No, normally regarding the racing activity, also in January, coming back for do something with Aprilia Malaysia. So it's
that's interesting.
Very good place.
Yeah, so I've heard. So how has 2019 been for you with your new venture with Moto3, and so how's that going for you?
Yeah, this is another part of my my life. You know, to be on top of this team, which is the first time in the World Championship, was very new for me.
Yeah.
But I have a good people, and I can work with them. Yeah. And rider was one of the best riders in Moto3. So we have an excellent year one. Okay, we didn't win the title, but I didn't expect really. But happy for the performance for riders and the team. So we are looking for 2020 now.
If you could do anything differently, what would you have done now that towards the end of the season? Maybe you can think back and some of the challenges.
Yeah, normally it's very difficult to change something when the things are already done. You know, but no, a little change, few change here and there, but nothing really big. So next year will be 2 riders in one team, and again a new story, new winter, 2 faces. So we will see.
And I have one very important question to ask. Some of our readers wanted us to ask this. If you were living in KL, in Kuala Lumpur, what bike would you ride and why?
Oh, very difficult because here I don't see very often big bike.
Yeah.
So there. Maybe scooter.
Yeah.
Scooter can be one of the possibilities.
Like an Aprilia scooter?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
But here it's very popular, the scooters. So, but maybe in the future also here they will change. Yeah. It will come more like European.
Yeah.
So big scooter, big size, and maybe hopefully motorcycle.
Hopefully. And so if there's any certain model that you can choose to ride in KL?
Well, if it was up to me and living here, I would use the Tuono. Tuono because handlebars are more straight and easy to ride, nice torque and very easy. Right. So this will be my favorite.
Nice. And now that you no longer ride competitively, do you still ride leisurely?
Yeah, I use the Aprilia 1100, the X model. So they did only 10 pieces, and it's one of the most fun bike to ride because it's the closest to the World Superbike, but you can use it. Yeah. So when I ride the bike, I only ride on the track because that's what I like the most.
Right. So a lot of competitive riders, those that ride in championship and all, they never ride off the track, but they're really fast on track. Why do you think that is?
I don't know, but maybe because when you became professional riders and you know that the street is it's okay to ride, but it's not that safe, you know. And safe is very important. On track, you have a permanent track, you know your competitor, or you know the people you are riding with. So, but of course, it's nice also at traveling with a bike. So, if I have to use a bike, I will use it for traveling to go far.
Touring,
not in the city, because in the city it's too short, too crowded. So
too dangerous as well. Yeah. So now, compared to when you were racing 20, 30 years ago, when you first started racing, how has rider development, how has motorsports changed as compared to when you were riding?
Yeah, it's been a big change. New era from a 2-stroke to 4-stroke, and bigger bike. And now with the world of the electronic, you know, everything is controlled. A lot is controlled by electronic. And a good electronic system can make different performance from one bike to the other. So, and also the lean angle now we go near 17 degrees, which is, 20 years ago you cannot even imagine to go that far. But it's nice, they do a lot of trick, new rider, new technique, and you can see always the same spirit. They like compete for the title, but they're very close.
So riding style has changed too. It's not only the machine, but riding style has changed.
It's changed, and it's changed in a good way, because in the way they change, they can go faster. While if they was using the old style, it couldn't. So, but also the tires change, everything's changed.
Technology, right. So from a management point of view, just to how has 2019 been for you as compared to last year, and what are your hopes for 2020?
For me, it's a bit difficult to compare to last year, because I was doing a completely different job, because I was in the F1 world. So my first year in MotoGP is quite interesting, quite challenging. I have to say, overall, it's a positive year. The good thing that I can for sure say is that I feel a lot of respect for Aprilia, and I feel that more and more the respect is increasing. The history of Aprilia is quite unique. Nobody has has our history. Also thanks to Max, in fact.
Yes, of course.
And there's a sort of, let's say, hope that our history comes back. And my mission is that one, actually. So
coming to Malaysia with 4 wheels or 2 wheels, is it the same or is it different? How do you experience Malaysia differently?
My first time in Malaysia was in 2000. I think it was the first time the track was open for Formula 1 racing, in fact. And as Max was saying at the beginning, the Sepang track was not, the grandstand were not fully occupied. And now, yes. And I have to say that the spirit around MotoGP is even more, let's say, passionate. Than for Formula 1.
Yeah, correct.
I think the motorbikes are a bit closer to the spectators and to the public. Maybe the spirit is a bit different. It's both good, in fact, but I have to say that MotoGP has something special from this point of view.
I think Malaysians love motorcycles more than they love their cars, so that's why.
Yeah, maybe they have more feeling for that, because it's more people. You here in Malaysia, I don't want to say that everybody has a scooter or a moped or a bike, but more or less, yes, you all ride. So it's something that then you bring to the track and you want to see, and you have chances to see the riders and the bikes.
Okay. So one last question for Max. Anything that you see now, we are seeing a lot of riders in Malaysia, right? So there's an increase of riders in Malaysia. So if there's any advice that you can give to our audience, our riders who follow us, who just want to start off riding, not competitively, but on the road, when they're commuting to work or when they're joyriding for fun, if there's any advice that you can share.
Well, it's, since 20 years ago, this part of the globe, you can see much more people using friendly the motorcycle and scooter. So, and I see a lot of people come to the race. So that means they have a passion for the sport. So hopefully to see them in few years riding a big bike, because this is the way to go around Europe and America. They ride a big bike, so 600, 1000. So if they try, for sure they will like. It's something that they need to try first. So hopefully they will test ride sometime and be in love with this bike and start to ride around KL and in this part of the globe.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you.